Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to episode number 2 of Spirit Inc. in conjunction with the lovely Jokeress. How are you doing today, Jokeress?
I'm doing great. I thought I had a new COVID, but thank God I just got cold. So, yeah, I'm feeling awesome because before holidays, I don't have time for a new COVID hospital and drama.
Exactly. Well, I'm very glad that you have recovered from, just that minor little stint of a bug that you have. You look
Yeah.
vibrant today. You look bright. You look full of life. And
And I look like a crazy person with all those details on my face.
nah. So today's episode, we are going to talk about the concept of manifestation and manifesting both good and bad into your life. Today's episode is primarily going to be controlled by the Jokeress because she's an expert on the topic.
Because she's a crazy person.
Well, they say I'm crazy too, but I'm learning to take it as a compliment. But let me ask you, what got you into the whole concept of manifestation, and what have you manifested into your life?
I never manifested anything on purpose. I was into the topic law of attraction and law of assumption, which are two slightly different things. When I was like 17 and I wanted some boyfriends and stuff like that, like all the 17-year-old girls want. That was pretty much it. And I was trying all the techniques of manifestation, but nothing worked. Only things I manifested accidentally came true.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. For example, I will mention Aaron Carter. I have to.
Really? Oh, did you have a poster of him on your wall or anything? Or like a screensaver on your computer?
I think he's a manifestation from my childhood. Because for those who don't know, I met Aaron Carter on Twitter and he wanted me in his Instagram lives and we were friends for a while.
From today, you're officially my celebrity crush with that morning look and that song, and I'm gonna die.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm a badass bitch from hell.
You're the Jokeress, huh?
Yeah.
For a month. Okay, short-term friends, whatever. I was obsessing with Backstreet Boys. I'm 36 and I'm a Backstreet Boys generation. And
I like Backstreet Boys too, even to this day. I'll play that song, Everybody. I like that song.
I like that too. Best boy band ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was obsessing about Nick Carter and obsessing when I was a child, imagining I'm his girlfriend, I don't know, whatever, like all the kids do. And I think that meeting randomly Aaron Carter, who is sort of a celebrity and brother of Nick Carter, is a kind of manifestation of my childhood obsession. Does it make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense to me. I'll tell you a story. I think I did manifest my first long-term boyfriend also. I was going to Florida Atlantic University at the time.
A boyfriend.
I've done it a lot. And I'd have to say accidentally, but now I'm trying to rework my law of attraction, attractions to shift that a little bit. But yeah, my first long-term boyfriend I had like a doppelganger face for one of my favorite male supermodels. My crushes were the male supermodels when I was young, okay? And one of my favorites was a guy known as Marcus Schinkenberg. My first long-term boyfriend I ever had the same face as Marcus Schinkenberg. Everybody who met him was like, wait a minute, do you actually meet Mark? And I'm like, no, it's not the same guy. But it was strange. It was really strange. And then I did it again with my first husband. I only been married once, but the man I married, some people have been married a lot, but me once. But he had a similar look to a certain celebrity, and I'm not going to say who because I don't really want to think about him. But I tend to do that. And I don't know if it's just me subconsciously liking certain looks and gravitating toward that look and maybe exuding a certain energy to attract men with certain looks, or if it's something else. But I tend to do it with men very much so, but it usually backfires in a very negative way, which is probably why I'm single.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I can imagine. And all my childhood dreams came true without me chasing them. For example, I always wanted to write for a major magazine. Playboy called me. I didn't chase Playboy. And I wanted to be in a movie. I wanted to be an actress. But I never pursued that. I never auditioned for anything. And they called me, hey, do you want to star in a real movie? Yeah, I do. And little things like that came true a bit too late when I wasn't really interested anymore in being in a movie because I was too old for that shit,
Too old? What are you talking about? You're still in your mid-30s.
And but I wasn't still obsessed without being an actress,
Okay.
And the same thing happened when I was a kid. I wanted to be a model. Every girl wants to be a model, but I also never went through that path on purpose. But Marc Jacobs shows me on Instagram as one of the 15 people with special beauty all around the world in that year. Like it was like 7 years ago. So everything came true in a way, but without me chasing it and forcing it. I never went to a fashion casting. I never went to a movie audition. I never went to drama academy. I never went to anything like that. And all those things came to me.
Well, let me ask you, do you spend a certain amount of time or an extensive amount of time even in prayer or meditation on a daily basis?
No.
Okay.
I have self-diagnosed ADD and I cannot meditate. And that's probably why when I was trying to manifest something, nothing worked because I can't concentrate.
Do you find your manifestations at any point in time increase when you're in a creative process, like doing your art, your graphics and your art for your t-shirts, your handbags, things like that?
Not really. But
No?
I pre-recorded a little video.
Yes.
What am I about to show you is how to, based on law of attraction and the power of your imagination and the power of letting it go to the universe, which is the hardest part. How can you manifest, for example, a text message from somebody? Yeah, a real text message from somebody you haven't heard of for a while. Maybe an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, maybe a friend you had a fight with, any person you don't want to contact first, or the person is ghosting you, ignoring you. This is what you can do. And it works if you believe in it. That's how they say. I'm not sure how much I believe in it, but I'll show you how it goes. Make yourself comfortable. Sit on a bed, lay on a bed, sit in a comfortable chair, in a quiet place, your room, in the dark. And first you have to clear your mind. You have to absolutely clear your mind. How you do that? You breathe. Breathing is the key to everything. So what you do is next. You take one deep breath in through nose. Hold it. And exhale through mouth. And again. Do it as much as you need to, as you feel you need to. It can be 1 minute, it can be 2 minutes, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 if necessary. You need to clear your mind and feel your body become lighter, your muscles relaxed. You need to feel really relaxed in order for this to work. Then, take your phone. You literally take your phone and turn off notifications, put it on airplane mode or turn it off. You don't need any kind of distractions from social media or any kind of calls. And imagine the person you want to receive a text message from. Imagine his or her face, the details about their face. Imagine them looking at you. Imagine the feeling you had while the two of you were together. Imagine how you were happy and totally feel it. You have to feel it for real. And when you do that, imagine the sound of text message coming. You know the sound of your text messages and you have to hear it in your mind. And then look at your phone screen and imagine the avatar of that person, their photo you have put as their contact. Imagine their name and imagine the exact text message you received from them. Imagine it. Be like, oh my god, feel surprised, feel happy. Imagine like it really happened and you have to feel those feelings you would feel if you really got that message. Enjoy the message, and the message can say anything. Like if you want somebody to apologize to you, let the message say, I'm so sorry I hurt you, I'm so sorry I was rude to you, or I miss you so much, I want to hang with you, I want to take you on a date. Imagine what text message would say and feel like it happened. Imagine all those happy feelings. Are you excited? Are you a bit nervous? Are you happy? Are you relaxed? Are you finally in peace? Imagine that. And when you're done, put away your phone, close your eyes, and imagine the flow of energy. Imagine the flow of white light around you, which is the symbol of energy. You can do it with hands like this. Play with that white ball of light, and you can actually feel the energy between your hands. And when you do that, release your intent of getting the text message, release it to the universe and say, thank you, universe, for sending me the text message. And you're done. And all you have to do is forget about it. Because if you stress about it, if you're like, I didn't receive it yet, why I'm not receiving it, if you're stressing about it, being crazy about it, it will not happen. You have to put your phone away, go about your day, do something, cook a lunch, wash your hair, I don't know, take the dog out, do something. And when you're least expecting it, the message will pop up on your phone. Many people claim that it happened. To some, even like 5 minutes after doing what I just shown you. To some, after 1 hour or 1 day. Maybe it works for you. It all depends on if you believe enough, because you can't be suspicious about it like this is weird, this won't work. You have to believe in it. That's the point of law of attraction. You have to really picture it and believe in it like it already happened. And that way you create your reality, which can be, for example, a text message from somebody.
I'm also skeptical when people on YouTube, on my example of meditation and everything, say it works, I got a call in 5 minutes, because of course you got a call, bitch, because you were manifesting your boyfriend whom you had a fight with 5 days ago. So of course he's calling you. He would call you with your magic or without your magic. I think most of cases are like that, because You can't just say, call me. You can now say, Skelly, call me. Skelly is calling me all the time, and he might. And you would think, oh, I manifested. No, you didn't. He just wanted to tell you something about podcasts or something like that. Picture of Skelly popping up. Bum.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So manifestation. Now there's going to be some people who see this podcast and they're going to be like, those women are talking about witchcraft. And they're going to say that, we're burned at the stake.
They're not believers.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that the concept of manifestation is something that should only be exclusive to pagan religions, or do you think that there's a place for it within the realm of Christianity? Because I personally feel that prayer and manifestation actually are one and the same to an extent. But what's your opinion on that?
I found on YouTube, while I was refreshing my memory about the subject, I found a girl called, I think, Electra Soul. She always says, we have her video, which you can play for like a minute. She says, I teach the world that Jesus and universe coexist as one. So
I like that.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Electra Soul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual bitch trying to put everybody on. What I intend to do is to teach people that God and Jesus and the universe coexist as one. Now today in this video, guys, I'm going to be teaching y'all about something that I feel like is very important to use within the law of assumption. The reason for that is because this is basically when you implement the fact that you are that bitch. And so with that being said, what I'm going to teach y'all today is how to rampage. Yup, a very useful technique within the law of assumption, because within rampaging, you're basically telling yourself that the universe has literally no choice but to give you what you want because you demand it right fucking now. The reason that rampaging helps so much is because you're literally yelling out into the universe that you're getting what you want right now, no matter what it looks like around you.
And I like that girl because she's not fake. She doesn't seem fake. She kind of reminds me of me in a way when I was younger.
Thought that too when I saw her. I was like, no, wait a minute. Is this one of the Jokeress' relatives? Who's this, But
something is similar about
her
us.
energy. She has a very authentic, genuine energy, and she's solid in her beliefs. You can just see that about her. I'm going to put her link in the description.
And on the other hand, there are people. There's also, we can play like 10 seconds of that guy and everyone will have enough of him, who is just a guy, an elderly guy who wants to make money on desperate people who want somebody back or need money badly.
And inside there, in $100 bills, is $1 million. What do you feel? What do you feel? What kind of exuberation, excitement, enthusiasm? Is your imagination going crazy with how you're going to use that money? That's the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
And I don't like people like that. He seems fake. He seems like he doesn't believe in it. He's just some rich bitch in Florida or somewhere like that, lying on the beach and collecting money from his subscriptions to his magical books, which are a bunch of bullshit. And I know that those books are a bunch of bullshit because a few years ago, I was ghostwriting books for a life coach in Beverly Hills. He unfortunately died 2 years ago of heart attack at the age of 47, something really early. And he was just giving me directions, and I was writing his books. And those books were bullshit, and he was selling them for big amounts of money and had a house in Beverly Hills and living on that and just drinking cocktails and having problems that his phone line doesn't catch next to his pool because the house is too far away because his yard is so big. He made a fortune on being a life coach who didn't even do it himself. I was doing it for him, and many other people were doing it for him. So those are frauds.
I think that what people want most in life tends to be love.
Yes.
And that's something that's very easy to prey on people about. I mean, whether it's a book on how to, or instructions as to how to get your ex back, or how to draw the right kind of person into your life, or whatever it is. But really, I think that the key to manifestation also is self-love and figuring out who you really are. And then you figure out what you really want. But just very quickly, I do want to read from Wikipedia, just the first 2 paragraphs under what law of attraction is, just for the audience. All right, law of attraction. In the New Thought spiritual movement, the law of attraction is a pseudoscience based on the belief that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life. The belief is based on the ideas that people and their thoughts are made from pure energy, and that a process of like energy attracting like energy exists, through which a person can improve their health, wealth, and personal relationships. There is no empirical scientific evidence supporting the law of attraction, and it is widely considered to be pseudoscience. Advocates generally combine cognitive reframing techniques with affirmations and creative visualization to replace limiting or self-destructive negative thoughts with more empowered, adaptive, positive thoughts. A key component of the philosophy is the idea that in order to effectively change one's negative thinking patterns, one must also feel through creative visualization that the desired changes have already occurred. The combination of positive thought and positive emotion is believed to allow one to attract positive experiences and opportunities by achieving resonance with the proposed energetic law. So that's what it says on here. I personally don't think it's a pseudoscience because I've witnessed it within myself, within others, to where it's real. So I say it's real.
But you know what happens to me, and it happens to lots of people, it happens to probably you too. When you're really looking forward to something, some event, like a concert, for example, you're really happy you're going to Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. Really, really happy and really hyped, and there's gonna be a guy you like and you're actually going together, and this is the best day of your life. When I'm like that, something negative happens on that event. Usually.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know why, but when I'm really happy and dressed up, something negative happens. At least somebody spills beer on my face or something like that, or I have a fight with a cab driver on the way home. Something negative happens, and it's all horrible. Or I meet somebody I didn't want to meet there, so there's some sort of a semi-fight.
Okay, here's a question. Are you anticipating, because in the past you've had negative things happen, are you anticipating when you're planning something fun to do, that somehow something's going to go wrong? Is it already in your mind? Because if so, you got to rework your mind a little bit on that.
Maybe a bit, but if I'm not looking forward to something, somebody asks me out, friends want to go out, and I don't feel like it, and I don't even wash my hair or put my makeup, I say whatever, I go. What happens then? I meet my boyfriend there, I meet the person who becomes my boyfriend, we fall deeply in love and stay in a relationship for 3 years. For example, what happened to me, but it might have something with law of attraction or assumption. I had COVID, and after COVID I was sleeping and I didn't wash my hair for a long time because I couldn't. I was like messy and sick, and I woke up like 5 minutes before the grocery store was closing, and my mother said, "Oh, I feel like drinking 1 beer. Can you go and buy me 1 beer?" And I was like, Mom, do I really have to? I'm all sweaty, all dirty, all tired. Do I really have to? Yeah, just go, just that beer. And she gave me some change for the beer. She didn't give me like normal money. She gave me like exact amount. And I came to that grocery store praying to God that I don't run into anybody, because I was looking like a street bum. Really? And some guy in a suit approached me and asked me if I'm myself. Am I Nika from Playboy? And I was like, yes. And he was really happy to meet me. And I was like, oh my God. The wonderful Barbie Nika from Playboy is now Nika the bum buying one beer. Like,
No.
no.
I
And
bet he
that's
didn't
not,
view you
that-
that
that's not
way at
all.
all,
That's not all. There wasn't the brand of the beer my mother wanted, and she's really picky when it comes to beer. You can't buy her Heineken or Becks because she will say disgusting. And then I found a craft beer she likes, and I took that one craft beer and went to the counter, and that guy was following me. He was buying a whole pack of beers, and then I realized, oh fuck, that beer costs much more than the beer my mother wanted. It costs, like, in our currency is kuna in Croatia. For example, my mother gave me 10 kunas because that's the price of regular beer. This one was 15 kunas. And I didn't have enough money at the counter, and that guy added me 5 kunas, and I was so embarrassed. I was
Why?
When I came home, my mother said, I don't feel anymore like drinking the beer. So I was going there for nothing.
Well, it
So
sounds
maybe-
like that was a little bit of a spiritual lesson for you also. Because I think every day we learn spiritual lessons. And I think
Maybe I attracted that because I was so afraid of that, of meeting somebody.
could be. It could be. It could be. And so, you have very distinct facial features. You have a very recognizable face. So whether you have
That's
makeup on or not, people are going to recognize you
Yes.
from in certain circles for sure. So,
Yeah.
and I bet you that guy, you didn't look that bad that day, because remember, we are our own worst self-critics.
It doesn't matter, but I was just horrible. When you're sick and you just woke up and you kind of stink.
Well, see,
because
I don't
you were
go
sick
out
and you
when
didn't shower.
I'm in that mode, I'm not going anywhere. Maybe that's why I haven't had certain experiences, because if I'm not feeling right, or if I look in the mirror and it's just not a good day, I will just be like, all right, I'm going to go back to sleep for a little bit. That's it. But
that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
do, but my mother was insisting on it, and I was like, okay. The grocery store is across the street, and it was Friday, so it was full of people, and I was just praying not to run into anybody. And then that gentleman, that guy was like a fancy guy in a shirt and a blazer, and very nice. Oh, are you from Playboy? And I was like, yeah. buying one beer and not having money for it. Oh my God, what an embarrassment. Maybe I attracted it with a negative thought.
Well, it could also be because you are very independent. I can tell that about you. You're very self-sufficient. You're used to always being able to handle yourself, take care of yourself, buy your own stuff if necessary.
Yes.
Maybe that was the universe balancing you out a little bit, because I'm very similar to yourself. I love being independent. I'll be independent to my own detriment. I think that part of the reason why I've been single for a very long time is because I'm so independent. So sometimes I have noticed that life has thrown me some wild cards to where I have no choice but to rely on somebody else. You know what? It happened to me when I was in Spokane. Yes, It did. Yeah, with the car break-in that I dealt with when I was there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, that's never happened to me in my entire life. That was the first time in my entire life that my car was ever broken into. And that did throw me off completely. Because, I'd never visited that city before. Okay. I'd never been in that area of the country before. And I only knew 2 people in that place, Skelly and 24 Eyes. Okay. And, when it happened, I was in shock because Skelly had called me, and what was he? Well, we were supposed to go. He was going to take me to, I think, a hike. Initially, the plan was to go on a
Yes,
hike. Okay.
yes,
So I was
spying
already
on you
up.
too. I was spying on you too.
I was getting dressed, I was ready. And then he was like, it's going to be really, really cold. And I was like, oh, and I had, in my car, and it was my bad. I shouldn't have left certain things in my car, but all my luggage is black. Okay. And most people wouldn't notice the luggage in the car because it's black, it's dark, but again, this was in a very high crime area, Spokane. I didn't know when booking those accommodations, it was going to be as high crime as it was. Nothing. Right. So anyway, I go out to the car and I see like the back glass was all shattered and everything. And I was like, oh my God. And I was in shock. There were people who they're like, oh, that's your car? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, shoot, what in the world? So I go back inside and I let Skelly know. I'm like, I think this hike is going to have to be canceled because I got to figure out what to do. And I would have figured out what to do on my own, I'm pretty sure, but it would have taken me substantially longer to calm down, get my bearings, all that kind of stuff, if Skelly hadn't been there. And that did allow, and I was actually embarrassed about the whole situation, which I shouldn't have been because it wasn't my fault, but just because I'm used to things going pretty smoothly, holding it together, just myself, keeping things moving forward in a right way. That was something that was out of my control. And it freaked me out, but he calmed me down. He, there was an auto glass place that he helped me get to, and helped me get all the stuff out my car and everything. But that was a very humbling experience for me in a way, because I'm not used to anybody helping me ever with anything. Yeah. So, I look at that situation. Initially, I was like, oh man, this was horrible. But actually, it was a blessing in disguise, because it was an exercise for me in personal development and personal growth, and learning to trust somebody that I don't know, and not, anticipating the worst. So that was actually one of the best experiences of my life. So I think in a weird way, I kind of did attract that experience into my life simply as a balancing mechanism, because that entire road trip, and I'd even been bragging about it on the internet. I'm like, I'm so independent, I'm so self-reliant, but I was getting a little too big of a head. So yeah. I think I did attract that instance of something happening, but it was okay. But I think that's why we do have to be careful not to be too egotistical.
Let's talk about intuition. I mostly align on my intuition, not on my magic, but on intuition. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can change the events. I think I can maybe have a premonition that something good or bad will happen.
Yeah.
Did you have a feeling that something bad would happen?
Oh, in Spokane?
Yeah,
I did. And that's part of the reason when I first got there, I took a walk and I did a live stream, not only to familiarize myself with the area, but to kind of scope out the area a little bit and see what's what. Like, is this dangerous? And I didn't have that feeling, but on that live stream, you will see that there was a homeless woman who, and she kept appearing at different points in my trip too. I had the worst feeling about her, and I didn't have a bad feeling about being there until I encountered her. It was something about her that brought in a certain energy to where I was like, I think something's going to happen. And I didn't know what. Fortunately, it wasn't anything to where I was personally harmed or anything. It was just the car. But yeah. Still, yeah, I did. But overall, it was a good trip. And then, what was a big surprise was that when I left Spokane, I didn't even realize that a friend of mine who I've known for years lived in Seattle, and I wound up staying with her for 3 weeks. So, yeah.
I noticed that people come to my life in the right moment. Yeah. For example, this year, this is a very good example. I had a boyfriend for, let's say, 2.5 years. And then I met somebody randomly. and I like that person. We knew each other for like 4 days. I like that person a lot, and I felt guilty, really guilty, because I'm in a happy relationship. I'm in a really, really happy relationship. And you know what happened? I found out that my boyfriend is married. That his ex-wife...
He's horrible if he never told you that.
His ex-wife, he said he's divorced for like 5 years. That his ex-wife is actually living with him, and they're in a marriage.
So they never got divorced or anything?
Never. I found that out. And what is good, I met this new person, and I didn't suffer because of the breakup. I was just disgusted and mad and angry. But I didn't suffer. My heart didn't break because I met somebody new. In the right moment. The person came in the perfect moment, like the universe sent the person in a perfect moment.
I believe that things appear in our life when we're totally ready for them. That's something that's something I've always thought. That's something that really both my parents did instill in me, because as a child I would get very impatient, and even as an adult I get frustrated quite a bit. But both of them have always told me, they're like, you know what, Alexandra, when you are completely ready, that is when whatever it is going to happen for you or appear. And it does tend to be that way, at least in my life.
Yeah, and even if nothing happens romantically with that person, that new person, I'm grateful to that person, because he saved me for a horrible trauma. I'll be probably locked up in a mental institution for a week if there wasn't for him, after finding out that my boyfriend is married. It was a big shock.
I'm so sorry that happened.
I don't care.
I hate that man. I don't like. I hope something really bad happens to him.
But I feel like
you're not supposed to wish ill will.
feel like
seriously, come on.
I feel like he never existed. I'm so disgusted.
Well, you know what? You're right, though. You're right, because he never did exist. Because everything that you thought he was fictitious. It was a lie. Okay? So the person that you thought that you were in love with or that you were into, he never did exist. It was just a fantasy. So,
I literally can't imagine that I ever had sex with him. I can't imagine it. It's really...
It's in the past.
It's more normal to me to imagine having sex with you than with that guy.
Well, he's in the past, and now he doesn't exist in your life anymore, and I am glad.
He doesn't exist. Like, he never existed, and no trauma, nothing. My friend asked me like a few days very carefully when she saw me. That's the first time she saw me after that. Nika, are you okay? Are you really okay? And she held my hand, and I was like, yeah, I'm great. I don't give a fuck.
How long has it been since that happened now? It's only been a few months, or?
I think 4 months.
Okay.
Or 5.
You will heal from it, and in time you will completely forget about it. And he did not deserve you.
I already did. Good. Because I had that other person who I liked more.
Good. And that's what's important. Oh, manifestation. What else can we talk about when it comes to manifestation?
Do you believe you can manifest anything on purpose?
Yes. I think
Did you ever?
Yes, I have. Without negative side effects, but I've only been able to do it really over the past couple of years.
Because that little phone call meditation we have shown, I did as an example, that thing doesn't work for me.
It doesn't? Well, let me tell you, that's why I was asking you if your manifestation capabilities increased when you're in a creative mode. Because here's what I've realized for myself. I have realized that if I have the visualization or the thought or the intention while I'm doing some sort of artwork or music production of what I want, it comes into my life, I'd say 10 times faster than it normally would. That's something I've learned about myself. I don't know if it just has to do with maybe switching my spirit into a different mode, or maybe like I'm focusing more through creating art. but I just have noticed that, and I have to be careful with it because it can happen too quickly. But I've realized it's happened to help me financially. I've realized it's happened to help me with bringing new people into my life. So I keep doing it because I do have certain things in my life that I do want.
Okay,
So
do you have a special technique?
I guess for me, it's just, like while I'm painting something, or maybe if I'm doing some sort of computer art, or if I'm, working on my keyboard musically, that's my technique. I don't think it's something I could teach to somebody else because everybody has their own style of art. So I guess my technique is do some art, have in mind what your intention is, and maybe that'll work for you, because that is what works for me, but we're all different. So I couldn't say that it will work for everybody. Okay, so you have this upcoming trip. We're not going to go into detail about your trip, but you have your upcoming holiday, your trip, and the one thing I want you to do is don't allow yourself, like what we talked about before. You were saying that something bad always happens. Nothing bad is going to happen on this trip. And
I have that feeling too, but that's my intuition.
Okay, good. And you could always repeat to yourself a positive mantra, even in regards to the trip.
Affirmation, officially speaking, affirmations.
Yes, affirmations. Affirmations do work, at least in my experience. Do you have any affirmations that you'd say to yourself daily or weekly?
No.
Okay.
I don't practice this.
Oh.
Something. I don't. I just accidentally attract stuff.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's good. I think it's good if you're attracting things that you really want into your life. If there's, what do you want in your life right now? Is there anything in particular?
Not really. I'm figuring stuff out at the moment. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do after. I'm starting a business with my friend after summer, a marketing company.
Good.
That's what I'm planning to do. But I don't do affirmations like we're successful because I said so, bitch.
Yeah.
Like Electra Skull would say. Maybe I should start doing that.
Well, I mean, look, if your life is at a level that you're happy with, I would say don't change anything. But if there's more that you want, I would say it doesn't hurt to try something new. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. But those things, like the video you showed at the beginning, the call me spell, those things don't work for me. Okay, that was law of attraction example. Like people do it on the internet. That doesn't work for me. I tried it when I was younger. No.
I think a lot of times also it has to do with the belief foundation that we're given as children.
And I can't. They always say, life coaches always say when you're doing something like that, like I want that person to call me right now, that you have to believe in it, and I can't.
Okay.
Maybe that if the law of attraction and assumption really works, I can't totally believe in stuff which are not happening. I call myself a realist. You know,
I'm the opposite. I'm an idealist. I'm an idealist. I don't like.
I'm a pessimist and realist. I stand, even though I'm a bit like, wow, I stand with both of my feet on the ground, and I don't really, even though I have proof of things happening which I manifested accidentally. I'm sure I manifested them accidentally because those are real stuff, like starring in movies, like director calling you when you're not an actress. Alexandra, do you want to star in a motion picture tomorrow? That doesn't happen to people. You have to chase it, you have to beg for it, you have to sleep with somebody for it, you have to pay somebody for it, you know. But still, I'm not sure if I'm a believer totally, because I'm too underground. Even though if we're speaking spiritually and supernaturally, I'm an Aquarius by zodiac, and I should be the most powerful and most psychic person ever, you know. What's your zodiac sign?
Oh, I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah, we're boring. We're the oldest sign of the zodiac. We're known as the oldest sign of the zodiac. We're known as kind of being the parent to the rest of the zodiac signs. We start in the sea. Do you know what the Capricorn? We start in the sea, and throughout life we crawl out of the sea, get onto the land, and start going up the mountain. And that's who we are. Yeah. My mom is on the Capricorn Aquarius cusp, and my father is on the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp. And
I'm 22nd of January. That's sort of a cusp. Capricorn.
What are you, the 22nd of January?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely an Aquarius, but you're close. You are close to Capricorn.
Yeah.
My birthday is January 7th. I am right in the middle of both my parents. It's weird. And you know what's funny? My entire life, I've always been the mediator between my parents when they were together and when they got divorced. I've always actually felt a bit older than both my parents. And the age I am right now, I kind of am. I out-aged my parents. It's weird. My sister noticed it first. She and I were talking not too long ago, and she was like, "You seem older than both mom and dad." And I'm like, "I think I always have been." It's weird. It's really weird. I wanted to ask you, do you think that there were elements in your childhood that later drew certain things into your life as an adult that maybe you manifested or maybe those elements from your childhood brought things into your life as an adult that you never would have expected?
I said all my childhood dreams came true.
Okay.
Without me chasing them physically. It was like Electra Soul would say, "Because I said so, I'm an actress because I said so, bitch," and the end. Period.
So all of them have. Has there been any that hasn't, that you're still waiting on?
Yeah, but I'm not waiting on it. I wanted to be in a video of Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, I forgot about him. I like him. I forgot about Enrique Iglesias. What's your favorite Enrique Iglesias song? I'm curious about that.
Recently, Súbeme la radio.
Okay, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
It's
I always like.
3 years.
I like what they call the ping pong song. I think it's called "Do You
Ping
Know?"
pong song. Do you know what it feels like?
Yes. I love that song. Yeah, Enrique.
He's the only pop singer who maintains the career for so many years, and every 2 years he has a decent song.
Well, I think he's second generation entertainer. Isn't his father a singer?
Julio
or something?
Iglesias.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's in his blood to entertain. He doesn't know anything else.
And he looks the same for the last 30 years.
Oh, he's beautiful, isn't he?
He's the most perfect man looking at facial features. He's the most perfect man I have ever seen. He has everything perfect, and it's not plastic surgery or anything.
He has really good genetics. He has good looking parents too, and that makes if you have two good looking people and they come together and make a kid, usually the kid comes out looking pretty good too. So, not to say you should only focus on superficialities, but
yeah,
it does matter to an extent in my world. Oh well.
Mine too. What do you say about those YouTube videos which say if you do this and that, within 24 hours you will receive money?
Well, I've seen them on the panels of other videos I've watched. I've never like watched such a video like entirely through because I don't believe it.
Me neither.
You know what? Maybe I'll do an experiment. Maybe I'll try to, but I just don't. I don't think things like that work. I kind of think that everyone needs to develop their own rituals
I'll do
in
it
a
for
sort of
you.
way.
Let's do it now, really shortly, because it helps
Okay.
if someone else does it for you too. Alexandra Mayers received $5,000 this week. She received it, and she's got it because I said so. And have you heard of sigilization?
No, what is that?
Or sigilization? I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
I'll look it up.
For example, you
Okay.
want a jack, and you make a symbol for it. You draw something mixed with letters from that sentence, and it's a abstract drawing. And you put it somewhere, like online, maybe on, I don't know, Instagram, and don't say people what it is. And as the more people saw it, the bigger the chances are that it will come true, because it's my English, subliminal message to
Right.
the universe.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. Sigil is a type of symbol used in magic. The term has usually referred to a type of pictorial signature of a deity or spirit. In modern usage, especially in the context of chaos magic, sigil refers to a symbol representation of the practitioner's desired outcome. So it's a glyph. It's a representation of your intention. I could see how that works, because look at how it works with marketing and advertising.
Yes.
I'm convinced that the various logos that different brands and businesses use have over time started to kind of take on a life of their own and manifest wealth or success to that particular entity that it represents. So I totally think that this is something that has a lot of validity to it. Anyone who wants to look this up, I'll just put it in the podcast. We're talking about sigils. I mean, really, every religious symbol that exists is a manifestation of sigilization. You know, from the Christian cross to the Jewish star to the pentagram to anything, really. Yeah. Has anyone in your family ever been accused of being a witch? You don't have to answer if you don't want.
My mother always, because my mother has an ability to know when somebody will die, not of cancer, that person is dying, but she sees it. She saw it like 10 times in her life. She meets somebody she knows on the street, and for a second it seems to her that that person disappeared. And that person dies after a few days, for example, commits suicide or dies in a car crash or something like that.
Ooh.
That's her superpower.
Wow.
Since she
I guess if it's someone that you don't like, that could be seen as a positive power, but that would be hurtful to her to know when someone that she does like or cares about is.
It never happened with somebody she really cared about. It was like some random co-workers or nobody close.
Supposedly, my mother's grandmother had the ability to predict fires. But the question was she, and not even only in her, vicinity, but, places that she definitely couldn't have like run over and set the fire to or anything. But the question has been whether she was predicting them or whether she was manifesting them.
Oh.
Yeah. So in her neighborhood, a lot of the people accused her of being a witch. So that's why I asked that question. No.
My intuition is stronger for other people than for myself.
Usually it's like that. Usually I've heard it's like that.
And it's for you, and I have intuition for useless stuff. For example, a few days ago, I've posted a new profile picture on Facebook.
Okay.
And it was 5 a.m. 5 a.m. in the morning. And I thought randomly, my friend Daniel is gonna like it right now. In 2 seconds, notification. Daniel likes your profile picture. It was 5 in the morning and he had no reason to be awake, and I had no reason to think that he would like that picture, but he did. Useless intuition. Absolutely useless.
I like that new picture that you posted on your Instagram. Not the most recent, but the one before with the dog.
Oh.
Yeah, you look so relaxed in that particular picture. That's
Many people told me that. Many people told me even in private messages that they like that picture.
I like that picture. I think that's my favorite picture of you. Are you close to animals? Do animals make you feel relaxed?
Yes, I must have a dog. When my old dog died at the age of 17, it was winter and we decided not to have a dog until summer or spring because it's a hassle to have a small dog when it's snow outside.
Yeah.
I couldn't live without a dog.
I would hate that. Oh, I don't like
You have a dog? You have an animal?
I have one. Not right now. I don't right now because I've been traveling. But
yeah.
Before I started traveling, I had 2 birds. Never meant to have the birds. For some reason, I'm bird girl. I always have birds, and I never would have thought I would be bird person. But I had a dog. I had a little Shih Tzu. She was black and white. I had her for about 12 years. Her name was Panda. I had her like from my 20s into my 30s. She was my baby. She was just my baby, but she passed away. I like animals a lot. But for some reason, I think birds are drawn to me. I don't think I'm a fan of birds really, but for some reason throughout my life, birds have become my pets. When I was living in Hollywood, I had a bird that I had from Florida that I brought with me to California, and then out of the blue, and it happened when I met this guy who just turned out to be a nightmare that I wound up going out with. But he dropped me off, and I was going to my apartment, and there was just this beautiful dove. It didn't even look real, and it was sitting outside of my screen of my balcony, and I was like, "Is that a real?"
And you got it.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was real. It was just perfectly still, and it was just sitting there. And I was like, so I walked over to it because there was the way that the patio was. I was on the first floor, but the building was built up a little bit to where it was like a hill. So it didn't fly away or anything. It wasn't hurt. It was just sitting there. Maybe it was already trained, but I already had birds. So I was like, well, I guess you're going to be my new bird, because I was afraid a cat was going to get it or something. So I took it inside, and I had that bird the entire time, or the rest of the time I lived in Hollywood in California. And I think some people thought maybe it was an escaped wedding pigeon, because here sometimes people have weddings and they hire people to release a bunch of doves or white pigeons.
Yeah.
So that could have been what it was, but it came at a really good time in my life. This was right when I had decided I didn't want to be in adult films anymore. I was getting more back into Christianity and whatnot. So it was kind of a symbol for me spiritually too. But it was just weird how this bird appeared, and I named it Philip. It was Philip the bird. But
okay, my dog is called Radish.
Aww.
So in Croatian, but red.
Okay, so that's gonna wrap us up for today. Manifestation.
Yeah.
Manifestation. Is there any favorite website or anything that you want to refer the audience to when it comes to law of attraction? Or
no, I would just love to say that the guy that we showed at the beginning is not good.
Okay.
The elderly guy who I think it's called Law of Attraction Solutions. That's horrible. That's like scam artist. Like no.
Well, I think that, it all comes from within us. I think that everything that we need in life, everything that we're meant to have comes from within. And I do think that who we are inside is directly reflected by our surroundings. So, you know, be careful about what you think. Be careful about what you speak.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, because you just might get it. You just
I have
might.
a tattoo which says that. You can
Oh,
have
really?
it. How much do you want it? Hold on.
Okay. Ooh, there it is. There
Yes,
it
you
is.
can have it all, but how much do you want it?
Okay. Ooh. And that's a strategic place that you put it in too. You put it back there, huh?
That's my tramp stamp, which doesn't look tramp.
I wouldn't say it's trampy, but that is a very interesting place to put it, considering
That's from a song of Liam Gallagher, and I have a portrait of Liam Gallagher.
very cool. Very cool. All right. So everyone, make sure that you follow the Jokeress on Instagram. You can always follow me on Instagram as well, should you decide to
Don't
do
follow
so.
me on YouTube because my YouTube is really lame. So follow this channel.
Okay. Well,
comment
but
down
no,
below
follow
what
your,
you
because we
think.
gotta get because definitely follow you on YouTube too. Are you gonna do more YouTube stuff? Or like,
I do it sometimes when I'm bored.
well, you know, I'll put the link up. People need to join on
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. If you have any show suggestions, also feel free to contact me or the Jokeress. And you know, if it's a good suggestion, maybe we'll talk about what's on your mind. You never know.
Next week. See you later, skater alligator.